To know what you are, find what you are not, by Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. Devotee asked, your way of describing the universe as consisting of matter, mind, and spirit is one of the many. There are other patterns to which the universe is expected to conform, and one is at a loss to know which pattern is true and which is not. One ends in suspecting that all patterns are only verbal and that no pattern can contain reality. According to you, reality consists of three expanses: the expanse of matter energy, the expanse of consciousness, and the pure spirit. The first is something that has both movement and inertia that we perceive. We also know that we perceive. We are conscious and also aware of being conscious. Thus, we have two: matter, energy, and consciousness. Matter seems to be in space while energy is always in time, being connected with change and measured by the rate of change. Consciousness seems to be somehow here and now in a single point of time and space, but you seem to suggest that consciousness too is universal, which makes it timeless, spaceless, and impersonal. I can somehow understand that there is no contradiction between the timeless and spaceless and the here and now, but impersonal consciousness I cannot fathom. To me, consciousness is always focalized, centered, individualized. A person, you seem to say that there can be perceiving without a perceiver, knowing without a knower, loving without a lover, acting without an actor. I feel that the trinity of knowing, knower, and known can be seen in every moment of life. Consciousness implies a conscious being, an object of consciousness, and the fact of being conscious. That which is conscious I call a person. A person lives in the world, is a part of it, affects it, and is affected by it. Maharaj asked, why don't you inquire how real the world and the person? Then devotee said, oh no, I need not inquire. Enough if the person is not less real than the world in which the person exists. Maharaj asked, then what is the question? Devotee asked, are persons real and universals conceptual, or are universals real and persons imaginary? Maharaj said, neither are real. Then devotee said, surely I am real enough to merit your reply and I am a person. Maharaj said, not when asleep. Then devotee said, submergence is not absence, even though asleep I am. Maharaj said, to be a person, you must be self conscious. Are you so always? Then devotee said, not when I sleep, of course, nor when I am in a swoon or drugged. Maharaj asked, during your waking hours, are you continually self conscious? Then devotee said, no, sometimes I am absent minded or just absorbed. Maharaj asked, are you a person during the gaps in self consciousness? Then devotee said, of course I am the same person throughout. I remember myself as I was yesterday and yesterday year. Definitely I am the same person. Maharaj said, so to be a person you need memory. Devotee said, of course. Maharaj asked, and without memory what you are? Then devotee said, incomplete memory entails incomplete personality. Without memory I cannot exist as a person. Maharaj said, surely you can exist without memory. You do so in sleep. Then devotee said, only in the sense of remaining alive, not as a person. Maharaj said, since you admit that as a person, you have only intermittent existence. Can you tell me what are you in the intervals in between experiencing yourself as a person? Devotee asked, I am, but not as a person, since I am not conscious of myself in the intervals. I can only say that I exist, but not as a person. Maharaj asked, shall we call it impersonal existence? Then devotee said, I would rather call it unconscious existence. I am, but I do not know that I am. Maharaj said, you have said just now, I am, but I do not know that I am. Could you possibly say it about your being in an unconscious state? Then devotee said, no, I could not. Maharaj said, you can only describe it in the past tense. I did not know. I was unconscious in the sense of not remembering. Then devotees asked, having been unconscious, how could I remember and what? Maharaj asked, were you really conscious? Were you really unconscious? Or you just do not remember? Then devotee asked, how am I to make out? Maharaj asked, consider, do you remember every second of yesterday? Then devotee said, of course not. Maharaj asked, were you then unconscious? Then devotee said, of course not. Maharaj said, so you are conscious and yet you do not remember? Then devotee said, yes. Maharaj said, maybe you were conscious in sleep and just do not remember. Then devotee said, no, I was not conscious, I was asleep. I did not behave like a conscious person. Maharaj asked again, how do you know? Then devotee said, I was just so by those who saw me asleep. Then Maharaj said, all they can testify to is that they saw you lying quietly with closed eyes and breathing regularly. They could not make out whether you were conscious or not. Your only proof is your own memory, a very uncertain proof it is. Then devotee said, yes, I admit that on my own terms I am a person only during my waking hours. What I am in between I do not know. Maharaj said, at least you know that who do not know, since you pretend not to be conscious in the intervals between the waking hours. Leave the intervals alone. Let us consider the waking hours only. Then devotee said, I am the same person in my dreams. Maharaj said, agreed. Let us consider them together, waking and dreaming. The difference is merely in continuity. But your dreams consistently continues, bringing back night after night the same surroundings and the same people. You would be at a loss to know which is the waking and which is the dream. Henceforward, when we talk of the waking state, we shall include the dream state too. Then devotee said, agreed, I am a person in a conscious relation with the world. Then Maharaj asked, are the world and the conscious relation with it essential to your being a person? Then devotee said, even immersed in a cave, I remain a person. Maharaj said, it implies a body and a cave and a world in which they can exist. Then devotee said, yes, I can see the world and the consciousness of the world are essential to my existence as a person. Maharaj said, this makes the person a part and parcel of the world, or vice versa. The two are one. Then devotee said, consciousness stands alone. The person and the world appear in consciousness. Maharaj said, you said appear. could you add disappear? Then devotee said, no, I cannot. I can only be aware of my and my world's appearance. As a person, I cannot say the world is not. Without a world, I would not be there to say it because there is a world. I am there to say there is a world. Then Maharaj said, maybe it is the other way round. Because of you, there is a world. Then devotee said, to me such a statement appears meaningless. Maharaj said, it is meaninglessness may disappear on investigation. Then devotee asked, where do we begin? Maharaj said, all I know is that whatever depends is not real. The real is truly independent. Since the existence of the person depends on the existence of the world and it is circumscribed and defined by the world, it cannot be real. Then devotee said, it cannot be a dream, surely. Maharaj said, even a dream has existence when it is cognized and enjoyed or endured. Whatever you think and feel was being, but it may not be what you take it to be. What you think to be a person may be something quite different. Then devotee said, I am what I know myself to be. Maharaj said, you cannot possibly say that you are what you think yourself to be. Your ideas about yourself change from day to day and from moment to moment. Your self image is the most changeful thing you have. It is utterly vulnerable at the mercy of the passerby. A bereavement, the loss of a job, an insult, or your image of yourself, which you call your person, changes deeply. To know what you are, you must first investigate and know what you are not, and to know what you are not, you must watch yourself carefully, rejecting all that doesn't necessarily go with the basic fact I am. The ideas I am born to a given place at a given time from my parents, and now I am so and so, living at, married to, father of, employed by, and so on, are not inherent in the sense I am. Our usual attitude is of I am this, separate consistently and perseveringly, and I am from this or that, and try to feel what it means to be, just to be, without being this and that. All our habits go against it, and the task of fighting them is long and hard sometimes, but clear understanding helps a lot. The clearer you understand that on the level of the mind you can be described in negative terms only, the quicker you will come to the end of your search and realize your limitless being. Hari Om Tat Sat.